There are characters who we fall in love with at first sight, and know that we definitely have to add them to the roster of our characters. For me, those characters are Venti, Zhongli, Raiden, Nahida, Ayaka, and Hu Tao. Yes, I know, all the Archons are there. What can I say? My personal goal is to collect all of the Archons in the game. But sometimes, there are characters that you may not like as much, but decide pulling for them anyway, be it for the meta, lore, or some other reason. So last time, we did a video about characters that I regretted pulling. This time, however, I would like to make a more positive one. I would like to instead talk about the characters that I pulled and didn't really think of much initially, but ended up falling in love with them instead. Before we begin the video, can I just say a huge thank you to everyone for helping us to get to 1.2k subscribers. It really felt like just yesterday when we just hit the first goal of 1000 subscribers. We are moving really well to the next goal of 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, do consider subscribing and join our wonderful family here and help us to reach the new goal of 10,000 subscribers. Without further ado, my name is ChargeCoin and let's begin the video. The first character that we have is Ayato. When Ayato was first released, I pulled for him since he was Ayaka's brother and has extremely cool anime style normal attacks. I didn't think much of him though, since I wasn't a huge fan of his design. However, after I tried using him and fitting him in teams, it turns out, for me, that his normal attacks are not really where he shines. Instead, I end up really liking his elemental burst as he has a really huge range which allows for hydro application over a wider radius, unlike Kokomi's jellyfish that stays stationary. This burst also lasts fairly long with a duration of 18 seconds and a 20-second cooldown, meaning there is technically only 2 seconds of downtime. Due to this, he works well with freeze, supporting his sister by providing the hydro application in freeze compositions, just as he supported her to take down the Raiden Shogun. I was also surprised when I tried him out in the event yesterday with Hu Tao. He actually worked really well as Xingqiu's substitute, although as his burst is of a wider range, he applies less hydro than Xingqiu's single target. That said, it is still not bad, and coupled with the normal attack increase provided by his burst, it benefited Hu Tao really well. I pulled him just because he was the brother, but he proved to be so much more. Baizu was introduced way back when we as Travelers first entered Liyue. However, he wasn't playable for the longest time. Although people speculated that he would release in the patch before Sumeru to introduce the Dendro element, he wasn't actually released until patch 3.6, almost 2 years after his initial introduction. I still wasn't a big fan of him though, but as we didn't have a proper Dendro healer, I decided to get him anyways. I was pleasantly surprised by his kit when I found out that his elemental skill not only heals himself, but the entire team as well, as easily as just pressing his E skill. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that there are no other healers in the game that can heal the entire team without using their elemental burst other than Baizu. What's more, for his elemental burst, while his shield isn't that strong, it can also heal when broken and deal Dendro damage, which allows for better off-field support capabilities. Think of Xingqiu with slightly less elemental application, but also comes with healing and shielding. He also helps to free up a slot for Zhongli. As before, I would usually pair Zhongli with Nahida for his shield, but when I need Zhongli somewhere else, Baizu can easily help to fill that gap. That made Baizu one of the characters I really like today, way after his introduction. Although El Haytham was very cool looking when he first appeared in the story, there wasn't really much else that made him appeal to me. I decided to pull for him anyway though, since I wanted to collect more Sumeru characters. I already had Nilo, Sino, and Nahida after all. When his kit was first shown at the Genshin livestream, he was made fun of as Dendro Kerting, but it all changed when he was released. When I got him, I decided to put him with Nahida. The results were crazy since it turned out that he was the perfect driver for Nahida, meaning he would be on the field dealing the damage, especially since being a sword character had higher defense and faster attacks than Nahida, thereby allowing him to apply Dendro and trigger Dendro reactions quickly, and helping to trigger Nahida's Seed of Skandha for very high damage. This Dendro Kerting was in fact way stronger than Kerting. His Dendro infusion was stronger, lasted longer, and his elemental skill was way less clunky than Kerting's. He really made me fall in love with his kit. Xingqiu also really didn't appeal to me much when he was first introduced. I'm not a big fan of his design, nor his character lore. I started using him more however when Hu Tao was released, and after that I fell in love with him too. I mentioned this so many times in multiple videos, but thanks to the strong Hydro application he can provide with his elemental skill and burst that is easily triggered with normal attacks, he has since become my go-to for so many characters and teams. Hu Tao, Yoimiya, Hyper Bloom, and national team, just to name a few. What's more, during the Irodori festival, introduced in patch 2.6, I really was mesmerized by his elegant looking outfit as Aoi no Okina that I even decided to cosplay that version. Xingqiu really shows that a kid is just as important as design and lore. For the final character, we have Kuki Shinobu. I really liked the design. She looked extremely cool and had the design of a ninja. But when she was first released, she was released before Dendro was even a thing, and as such, didn't really have a place in the game. I put her aside and didn't really use her since then. And it was until recently when I started this YouTube channel and was recommended to try a Hyper Bloom team with her. I went from a non-believer of Hyper Bloom to no longer being able to live without it. It really is such a fun reaction, and Kuki Shinobu is perfect for triggering them with a pulsating electro ring. But no, it doesn't really stop there. She's also good for spread or aggravate teams, working well with the aforementioned El Hatem and Nahida for their reactions to flourish. Just because she wasn't that good at the start, it doesn't mean that she'll stay bad forever. Now, I wonder if Deya will receive the same treatment in Fontaine. Let's see, shall we? In conclusion, don't judge a book, or in this case a character, by their looks. You really have to pick them up, give them a try in multiple teams and scenarios to find out where their true potential lies. Like the characters mentioned in this video, they could pleasantly surprise you and become an amazing addition to your team like they were mine. So what about you guys? Do you have any characters that you didn't think of much but end up falling in love with? Let me know down in the comment section below. With that, we've come to the end of today's video. If you found the video helpful, or just enjoyed the video in general, do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe if you haven't, as I post regular Genshin Impact videos and we just passed 1000 subscribers. Come and join this wonderful family and watch the videos as they release. Thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.